Hey guys, with all the scare about coronavirus or COVID-19, I thought I'd do a quick video on what is important to keep in your house if you were in a quarantine situation for short term. We're not talking Chernobyl, nuclear fallout, we're not talking the zombie apocalypse. We're talking, can you survive inside of your house for a few weeks with what you have without going to the store? Well, everybody's running around stocking up on things like toilet paper, Lysol sprays, disinfectants, Clorox wipes. That's not necessarily gonna keep you alive or comfortable for 2 weeks. So these are things that I stock up on in my house, things that you can get at any one of your local grocery stores. Easy to get, cheap to get, it's not gonna break the bank, and will keep you comfortable. So all of this stuff here that you see is really good and has a long shelf life, and it's more for like a long-term survival. But let's go ahead and start with things that you probably already have in your pantry right now. These are things that you can always stock up on. Here I have some dried rice. Dried rice will literally has a shelf life of like 10 years. You can have as much of this in your garage. I keep a Rubbermaid box just full of it. Oatmeal, grits, dried granola, cans of beans, canned foods last forever. Most people probably have about a week's worth of food in their pantry that's just sitting in the back of the shelf that maybe they haven't touched. Everybody's got that can of tomatoes, everybody's got that can of beans that you were gonna make a recipe and forgot and shoved it in the back and forgot about it. So this type of stuff, you can store it however you want as long as the area is dry and it's not gonna collect a lot of moisture or go bad or collect mold. I keep mine in just a Rubbermaid box. That's all you need. The big thing about keeping it in date is, like I said, these have a shelf life of a long time, but you can cycle all of your food. You're gonna cook brown rice in some recipe eventually anyways. So what you do is you go in your garage, you take it from your supply, you put it in your pantry and you use it. Next time you go to the grocery store, just buy a new box and put it in your storage for emergencies. This stuff, that way it keeps everything cycled. That way nothing will really go bad. You're just continually using it and continually replacing it. So a couple things to think about is, especially with COVID-19, is sanitation. CDC recommends you wash your hands all the time, disinfect everything. The big scare seemed to be like toilet paper and things like that, which is really good to have. So I always keep emergency toilet paper with me. These you can buy any really outdoor stores sell them, camping stores. I've had these in a backpack for probably 4 years. They're individually wrapped. Toilet paper is one of those things that you can always have, you can't have enough of it. Anytime you see it on sale, buy it and cycle it just like you would do your normal food. You can buy it, bring it upstairs or wherever it is whenever you need it, and whenever you buy more toilet paper, just replenish your stock. That's all you have to do. Or you can keep a couple of things like this in a backpack or a go bag, if you will, which we can get into go bags and stuff later. But that's another option that you can use. So with COVID-19, one of the big things has been sanitation. If you try to go to any grocery store right now, Clorox wipes, Lysol, that stuff is sold out. Everybody's buying all these bottles of hand sanitizer. Another thing you can buy is hydrogen peroxide. It kills germs just like any normal Lysol spray or any other germicide would do. It can also treat wounds, which Lysol can't. If you get cut, any type of infection, and you're quarantined in your house, you can't get to the hospital, you can use this to clean wounds, which I wouldn't be spraying Lysol on a cut. Next thing is, as far as sanitation goes, is soap. Washing your hands is obviously important. If you are in quarantine for an extended period of time, we're getting beyond months at this point. Soaps like this that are liquid are not necessarily the best option. You can buy bars of soap which last much longer. You get about 10 to 12 times more use out of a bar of soap than you will a liquid soap. Another really overlooked product is apple cider vinegar. I know this is like the trend right now. Everybody's doing apple cider vinegar shots. There is something to it. You can actually wash your hair with this. You can use it in recipes to flavor things. You can wash counters. There's so many uses for this stuff. The recommended shelf life is like 2 years on these, which you can cycle if you're constantly using it. If you're the type of person that does apple cider vinegar shots every morning, keep some in your storage container. And then whenever you're ready to use it out of your storage container and replace it. It also is good almost indefinitely. So even if you have it sitting in there 6-7 years in your storage container, it'll probably still be good and work just as good.
2 weeks later.
So you lasted 2 weeks. Congratulations. Let's get into some more long-term things that you can have. These are things you'll probably have to go out of your way to buy that most people probably don't just have sitting in their garage unless you're like me and you just have stuff sitting in your garage. So you can see on the table here, there's a lot of different options. We have, these are ready to eat meals, MREs from FEMA. This is a humanitarian daily ration is what it says. And this is basically what the government's gonna hand out if everything shuts down and people are starving to death. This is probably what you're gonna get maybe on your front door or from National Guard. We hand it out to other countries. This is what we took to New Orleans. This is what we took with all the hurricanes in Haiti. That's what you're gonna get. This is a private company called Sopatco. These are not military, they're made for civilians. You can go buy boxes of these and keep these. These will last forever. They're all vacuum sealed. Each one of these contains enough nutrients for a complete day's worth of eating. So these aren't necessarily just one meal. This is what you would eat the entire day. So if you're like me and you actually enjoy a good meal, you can actually buy these from a company called Mountain House. A lot of hikers use these, long-term camping. They're freeze-dried meals. They have all these different flavors. This is chili mac with beef. We've got beef stroganoff here. This is 2 meals in one, and all you do is add boiling water. These taste just like grandma's cooking. At the end of this video, we're gonna put a link up, and we're actually gonna be taste testing all of these back to back. I think these FEMA rations are about 4 or 5 years expired. And these are about a year expired. The expiration date on these is about 2016. So these are expired as well. We're still gonna taste test all of them. They should be good forever, that's what they say. Long-term survival, this is probably what you'd be eating anyways. And let's not forget about your best friend. They need to eat too. Most people buy 40, 30 pounds of dog food at a time anyways. You want a treat? All right, so most people buy 30, 40 pounds of dog food at a time. This is a 28-pound bag of dog food. We do the same thing that we do with people. We load up her food in a container. We keep a whole 30-pound bag in the garage. Whenever it's time to swap the meal, we bring the bag of dog food from the garage, we put it in the container, and we buy a new one for storage. So we've actually had this sitting here before the virus hit, before everything. We know she's got 30 pounds of food. Or depending on however much your dog eats, you know your dog better than we do. Let's start talking long-term survival. We're talking months and months down the road. Your water may not be clean, the plants aren't being kept sanitary. You know, people are filling up their bathtubs to get water. People are resorting from drinking from creeks. This company, Direcast, makes long-term water in pouches. This water can be used just to drink. It's got directions on the back. You drink 2 of these a day and it should be enough water to keep you going. You can boil these, add it to your Mountain House food. This is something, again, you could drink and put inside your go bag, which we may get into go bags in a later video, but that's just another option. All right, another thing to keep in mind is, especially with viruses, sicknesses, you're talking fevers, the important thing to do is keep your electrolytes up. I saw a lot of people buying cases of water and a lot of people buying bottles of Gatorade. This is stuff that's all perishable. It doesn't have a super long shelf life. One option is to go to a nutrition store and stay stocked up on, you know, they have these sports hydration mixes that have all the electrolytes you need. They're sugar-free, they have amino acids, things that could actually help you in the long term. Keep going more than just a bottle of Gatorade that has a bunch of sugar. This is gonna hydrate you much more. Another thing people don't think about is pickles. Pickles have a ton of electrolytes in them. It's food, you can eat them, you can use them to flavor things. Another cool thing about pickles is you can grow them yourself. You can grow cucumbers in the back, and if you're into pickling or jarring things, again, we're getting into way long term here, and I'm just thinking short term to this video specifically, 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. Pickles are definitely a really good option, really long shelf life, and you can use them just about anywhere. Another important thing to remember is you may not have electricity. If everybody's on quarantine and not necessarily the power grid's going down and it's a dystopian society, but a tree could fall on a power line and nobody could get out to you for a few days. All of your refrigerator food is probably gonna go bad. None of this stuff needs to be refrigerated, really. Even the pickles, everybody normally keeps those in the refrigerator, don't necessarily have to be refrigerated. So keep in mind too, medical. You're gonna get injured. There's possibility that ambulances can't get to you, fire department can't get to you. ERs, emergency rooms, hospitals are completely overloaded right now. From everybody that sneezes and think they have coronavirus, they go to the emergency room, fill up beds, and then people that have real traumas or broken bones, they can't necessarily get a room. You might need to be able to take care of some basic medical needs inside your house. Get a first aid kit. It's not expensive. They sell these pre-made kits like this at any camping store. I think even Walmart sells stuff like this. It has all your basic needs. You have Band-Aids. I added a couple of extra stuff. In case of a severe trauma, you have trauma. I have a combat tourniquet in case of a severe laceration. They come with antiseptic wipes, trauma shears, gloves, Q-tips. I added even more stuff. I added toothpaste, toothbrush. Hygiene is going to be super important, especially when you're dealing with a viral outbreak. In the event you even run out of toothpaste, there's even more options for even toothpaste. They make these toothpaste tablets. All you do, toothbrush in, bite and chew, and then you have instant toothpaste. I keep about 15 to 20 of these inside of my emergency medical kit at all times, just in case. So the basic takeaway is it's not hard to be prepared. Take simple steps throughout your normal life to buy groceries, buy things that last a while, cycle your food, keep something always in storage because you may not have time to actually go out and get something as we've seen these last couple weeks. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go ahead and head over to our YouTube channel at Dire Armory, click the subscribe button, click the notification button. We actually got a video coming out. We're actually gonna taste test all of this food. Most of it's expired, so we'll see how that goes.